Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Bharti, moderator for the conference call. Welcome to Q1 FY22 earnings conference call of Big Block Construction Limited, hosted by Essential Technologies. As a reminder, all participants will be in listen only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone telephone. Please note this conference is recorded. I would now like to hand over the floor to Mr. Nikun Seth of Essential Technologies. Thank you and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bharti. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Essential Technologies, I welcome you all to the Big Block Construction Limited Q1 FY22 earnings conference call. Today, from the management, we have Mr. Narayan Sabu, Chairman and Executive Director, Mr. Mohit Sabu, Director and CFO, and Mr. Manish Sabu, Marketing and Strategy. Starting with the statutory declaration, certain statements in this con call may be forward-looking. These statements are based on current expectations and are subject to uncertainty and changes in circumstances. These statements are not guarantee of future results. Now may I request Mr. Manish Sabu to take us through his opening remarks, subsequent to which we can open the floor for Q&A session. Thank you and over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I think we can start with discussing about who we are. So basically, we were into manufacturing of textiles since 1991 in the name of Mohit Industries Limited. So in the same company, we were manufacturing polyester yarn as well as fabric. Majority of that used to go in export. So that company has an export of about 60 to 70 crores per annum. In the year 2010, the company decided to diversify into manufacturing of AAC blocks. So the first plant for manufacturing of the at Palghar, which is near Mumbai, with a capacity of 100,000 cubic meters per annum. The company had run this plant for 1 year, and after 1 year, the same was sold to Thapar Group in the year 2011. Reason for selling the same was the plant size was too small, the land area was very small, there was no scope for expansion at the same unit, and the company got very, very good valuation for the same, and thus the company decided to dispose it off. And in 2012, the company new facility at Vapi running with a capacity of 300,000 cubic meters. So in 1 year's time, the company had installed 3 times the size of what it had disposed of. Thereafter, in 2016, the company decided to demerge its AAC block division from Mohit Industries Limited, and hence Big Block Construction came into existence. Before 2 years, the company decided to further expand, and hence the company took over one plant near Ahmedabad. The company name was Hilltop Concrete Private Limited, which the company later on changed to Star Big Block Building Materials Private Limited. This company is a 100% subsidiary of Big Block Construction Limited with a capacity of 200,000 cubic meters. So currently, Big Block Construction is the largest manufacturer of AAC blocks in Western India. Last year, the company did expansion at its Ahmedabad facility and enhanced its capacity by 25% to 250,000 cubic meters. And currently, the company is expanding its capacity by 15% at Big Block Construction, which is a plant at Vapi. A bit more about AAC blocks. So AAC blocks is a green building material which is replacement for red bricks. These blocks are superior in all possible ways compared to bricks, and the weight of these is 30% than that of bricks. Thus, the dead load of the building becomes very light, and there is considerable saving in the structure cost. Other than this, the material is soundproof, fire resistance is way better than that of bricks. We are the only company in this field which generates carbon credits. The carbon credit market also has changed tremendously in the last 6 to 8 months, and the prices of these credits in the international market has increased. Company also makes blocks for ACC as well as Ambuja. Few customers for the company are Lodha, LN, PSP, Runwal, Adani, Sidco, India Bulls. The company was one of the major supplier of blocks to World One, which is the tall residential project at Mumbai. Other than this, the company also sells block jointing mortar as well as plaster, and the company is in process of launching other new products like tile adhesive, gypsum plaster, as well as other construction chemicals. In the expansion at at Star Big Block, the facility at Ahmedabad was done last year in September, and the company achieved production at both its facility in the last quarter of last year. Again, the first quarter of current year was a bit slow due to second phase of COVID. The government is now focusing on housing for all, and it's mandatory to use AAC blocks in majority of the government projects, including PMAY. Thus, the demand for AAC blocks should remain very good in the near future. So before 10 years, the blocks were about 4% compared to red bricks, the entire walling market. The blocks were only about 4%, and now the same are at about 10%. So still the scope for conversion from red bricks to blocks is pretty big. Also, India has about 40 to 50 AAC block running plants currently, whereas China must be at about 2000 plus, which can, you guys can figure out where the company can reach in the near future. Nikunj, anything else, or else we can discuss about the financials of the first quarter?
Yeah, Mohitji, we can go ahead with the financials.
Coming down, hello, good afternoon. This is Mohit Sabu from Big Block Construction Limited. So coming to the financials, last year for the financial year ended 2021, the total turnover of the company was 102 crores with a bottom line of 2 crore 47 lakhs and an EPS of 1.6 per share. For the current quarter ended first quarter FY22, the total income for the company was 28 crores because of the slowdown induced by the lockdown in many regions, with EBITDA margin of 11.67% and a PAT margin of 4.33% and an EPS of 0.86 per share. For the current financial year, we are looking at a revenue growth of approximately 40 to 50%, with an expected EBITDA margin of approximately 13 to 15%. We are planning to achieve this by better capacity utilization in the current year, and also by introducing the new materials that Manish has informed about, the tile adhesives as well as gypsum plaster. So I would like to ask any of you if you would like to ask any questions. Nikunji, should we start with the Q&A?
Yeah, sure. Bharti, you can just
Yes, sir.
go ahead with the Q&A session. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, We will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star and one on your telephone keypad and wait for your turn to ask the question. If you would like to withdraw your request, you may do so by pressing star and one again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please press star and one on your telephone keypad. First question comes from Lokesh Daga, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Lokesh.
Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can
Am I
hear
audible?
you. Yes.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And first of all, I would like to tell you that this is a great opportunity, great platform you have started when doing the conference call that gives the investors like us a great opportunity to ask few questions to you as well. And
Lokesh,
sir, I
now
just
your voice is
on the
not clear.
hello. Sir, your voice
So-
is breaking a bit.
So sorry to interrupt. Mohit sir, can you please be a little bit louder?
The voice is not very clear actually.
Is it now?
Yeah, that's better now.
Okay. So just broadly on this conference calls, I would like to ask some questions related to the industry or the market. Can you, sir, please elaborate in terms of what is the market size of the ACC block market in terms of global or maybe domestic, and what is the market in terms of any numbers, and what is our share in that market? If not global, at least I would like to know what is our share in domestic market
So,
in terms of
I
percentage,
think,
maybe.
it will not be wise to discuss pan India because these blocks usually are sold, at a distance of maximum 3 kilometers of the plant location, and we can assume that Maharashtra market size on a monthly basis would be about 400,000 cubic meters per month, and out of that, our supplies to that market are about 25,000 cubic meters. So to Maharashtra market, we are at a and similarly, the market size for Gujarat would be about 200,000 to 250,000 cubic meters, out of which we supply about anywhere between 20 and 25,000 cubic meters. So about 10 to 12% of
Okay.
Gujarat market is served by us.
Okay. And in terms of pan India, I mean,
Hello?
yeah, hello.
Yes.
Okay, sir. And you are about our Ahmedabad and Vapi plants. What kind of capacity we have over there, production capacity, and what is the utilization we would maintain on a general level?
So Vapi plant, the capacity we have is 300,000 cubic meters per annum, and currently we are running the same at about 90% in current scenario. In the first quarter, we were at about 70% because of second wave of COVID, and at our Ahmedabad unit, the capacity is 250,000 cubic meters per annum. Currently,
Okay.
again, the same is running at 100%, and it was running at about 75 to 80% in the first quarter.
Okay. Sir, and would you like to tell what was the capacity during the COVID times, maybe during the first wave when COVID started? As in, what kind of downfall did we see, or did we not see any downfall in terms of capacity?
So the Ahmedabad plant during the last year from April to September had an installed capacity of 200,000 cubic meters per annum. and the
Okay.
utilized capacity in the first half year was at approximately 60-65%. Whereas for the second part of the year for the Ahmedabad plant, the utilized capacity was at 100%, even after the capacity addition done in the month of October. Whereas for
Okay.
the Vapi plant at Umargaon, the majority of our sales comes from Bombay and Pune, and that was majorly under lockdown during the first wave of COVID from April till about August. So the capacity utilization at the Umargaon plant for the first half year of last year was approximately 45, whereas for
Okay.
the second
Hello?
half it was around 85 to 90%.
Sorry, in the second half, it was around, I missed that. 75 to 90, you said, right?
Look, sorry to interrupt, Lokesh, sir. Lokesh,
Yeah.
yes, sir. So your voice is breaking. Can you please rejoin the queue, sir? We will check your line.
Okay, okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next question comes from Nilesh Karani from Magnum Equity Broking Limited. Please go ahead.
Hello. Hi, sir.
Your
Hello?
voice is a little low.
But yeah, hello, I am audible?
Yes, perfect now.
Yeah. So just to understand, see, you spoke about like 50% from here. You see for next 2-3 quarters, top line or probably and EBITDA levels are around 13%. So do you think that the construction or this market is growing so fast like that our products will you will have 50% more this revenues and EBITDA levels and all?
So in the first quarter of the current year, the capacity utilization was less only because of the lockdown induced because of the second wave of COVID. Apart from that, the demand is pretty good in the industry. And also, as we already mentioned that as of today, out of the walling material markets, it is still majorly dominated by red bricks by approximately 85%. Whereas only 10% comes from AAC blocks and other 5% from other walling materials like My1 structure and all those things, prefabricated structures.
Correct. No. My question was more like, have we secured any further orders already in hand, so are projecting that 50% rise from here, or what is that scenario actually?
So we keep on getting regular orders from our customers, and also there are lots of big and huge projects in pipeline. Like government is also incentivizing on Awas Yojana housing for all, and CIDCO is also coming up with huge projects in Palghar as well as Navi Mumbai for developments. These are all the government projects that I am talking about. Apart from this, even private projects are coming up pretty good.
Okay. And sir, how are our payment terms?
ACC Cement as well as Ambuja Cement, and we are manufacturing approximately 5 to 6% of our blocks for their brand name on a month-on-month basis.
Okay. And there the margins would be less or what?
No, the margins are almost same or better.
Okay. And just one more question, sir. Like, I wanted to understand, like, how are the payment terms when we give the this to the builders or whatever direct sale, or how do we do this billing and invoicing, and how do we get the payments released? Like, can you just?
So channels of sales, either we sell through distributors or directly to builders. So when we sell through distributors, we have a security check of the distributor and everything, and the proper KYC is done, and the payment terms with distributors are generally 30 to and at times even advance. Whereas for builders, the payment terms are generally 45 to 60 days. But the payments are on an average generally delayed by 15 days, but not more than that generally.
Okay. But any defaults do you see in this segment or no? No defaults.
See, after GST and after RERA and everything, there are hardly any defaults, because by the RERA number we can see the status object as well as if there are any litigations in the project, the estimated date of project completion. Because of all those things, it has become much helpful.
No, because I have read somewhere, like, big loans to builder, and probably that could be probably a headache for, banks and everybody going forward. How do we see our company in that state, like whether we will be 100% secured on that front, or how we can?
So for the payment security, what we have started all the more after COVID is that either we are selling through distributors with whom we have done proper KYC, and we are giving open credit to only reputed builders, to the likes of Lodha, L&T, PSP, and all such big customers who have been in the industry since more than 10-15 years. For other builders who are new in the industry, we have adopted a system of collecting PDC on delivery of material.
Great, great. And sir, what is our inventory right now? Can you just, if you have some figures, ballpark number?
So the current inventory stands at about 8 to 10% of the sales.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Next question comes from Tushar Sardar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so congratulations on good set of numbers. So I have two questions. So first question is, have we seen any price hike in our raw material during the lockdown phase? And if there is an increase in price, so do we pass it to the end consumer?
Yes. So, in the last 4 to 5 months, there has been a price rise of approximately 4 to 5% in some of the raw materials. And we keep on doing price hikes as we get raw material price hikes. So, when the demand is good.
Okay.
So first quarter was slow. We did not do any price hike in the first quarter. But now that the demand and everything is good since the last 1 month, now we are doing a price hike.
Okay. So the second question is, what do you think would be our competitive advantage over our peers? Why are we different than our peers?
So the company is already, Big Block Construction doesn't have any long-term debt, and there is a very, very small debt on the company which we have taken over. So that is, I think, one of our biggest advantage. Other than that, the locations of our plants, our major supplies are to Mumbai from our Vapi unit, whereas majority of the other units are located at Surat, which is another 150 kilometers more than where we are. Similarly, our plant near Ahmedabad is just at about 60 kilometers from the city, and transportation being one of the major costs, I think that gives us one of the advantage. Other than that, we have our own fleet of trucks, where 40 trucks, wherein we take care of almost 40% of our finished goods transportation. This helps us to deliver material on time, and thus our services are way better compared to our competitors.
Okay. Fine. And my last question is, so since we are in a growth phase, so there are any plans for exports?
Frankly, the demand in India is so good that we don't need to look at exports. But yes, we do get inquiries from Sri Lanka and Dubai markets on and off, which we can explore. And also currently the international freight prices are very, very high. And I think India is doing way better in COVID compared to other countries. So maybe once, these situations settle, we can definitely look at export markets. But for our capacity, Indian market is good enough in current scenario.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Next question comes from Shivam Pandey, an individual investor. Please go ahead. Mr. Shivam Pandey, you can
Hello?
go ahead with your question.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. So my question is, what about our logistics and freight cost? Like, how much % of total sales?
So the total logistic cost is involved in two parts. One of them is in getting the raw material to the factories. As the fly ash is free of cost, we just have to bear transportation in case of fly ash. And 60% of our raw material is fly ash. So one part is that cost, whereas the other cost is in sending the goods to the customer. Combining both the things together, our total freight cost is approximately 17 to 20% of our total sales.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Next, we have a follow-up question from Mr. Lokesh Daga, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Now can you hear me? I guess there was some disturbance in my line though earlier time.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I just had a couple of more questions maybe. As we know that we are currently almost on a 100%, nearly 90% capacity. So, sir, is there any plans for expansion? Because as you mentioned, you are also getting orders from Sri Lanka or something. So considering the exports, and we are also or considering to take a bit of debt as we are not very much debt heavy. So can we have some plans to expand in maybe domestically or also consider exports? And if we do that, how would it be as in greenfield or brownfield? Can you throw some light on that?
So we are already in plans to expand the installed capacity at Umargaon, which is the Vapi plant, by approximately 15% in the current fiscal. And apart from that, we are also looking at some other greenfield expansions to be done, which we are still in the talks, and we should be finalizing the same in the coming month or two.
Okay. Sure, sir. And what kind of growth do we see in terms of, as in, if we are planning to do a 15% this time, so do we plan to continuously add capacity? There will be some sort of stagnancy for a couple of years, and maybe we can do it again.
Can you come again on the question? Your voice was breaking in between somehow.
No. I'm saying as now planning to expand 15%, and the next expansion, as in, would it come?
Sorry to interrupt, but your voice was again breaking. We plan to increase the capacity by 15% and again further expansion.
Hello.
Yes.
Sure. I guess there's some issue from my line, so I would like to restrict my question over here. I'll join back in queue, maybe get in touch later.
Okay.
Hello.
Thank you, Lokesh, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Next, we have a question from Chirag Shah, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Oh, I'm audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Congratulations on numbers.
Thank you.
As the industry already faced some problems in the COVID time, so how we can see the industry moving ahead post the resumption of activities?
So, whatever issues I think the industry faced during COVID times, I think it was not for just construction industry, but for all the industries. There were labor shortages. Each state had its own, lockdowns. New rules were coming in every day, which affected entire nation. And past that, I think all the real estate companies all the builders, everyone have performed well. The sales across the sector, be it housing or offices, of everything has been good. So the industry has actually come out really well, and there are pretty good new projects coming up both at Gujarat as well as Maharashtra going forward.
I have one more question. As earlier mentioned, we use fly ash as the raw material component for bricks. So how this can be beneficial to our company?
So fly ash is a waste from thermal power plants. It's a byproduct for them, which they were using for landfill, frankly. So this fly ash we are getting free of cost. We only have to pay the transportation cost. So in a way, we are saving the environment. And also doing that, we are generating carbon credits. So it's a very, very positive thing that 60-65% of the raw material is free of cost for the company. So even in difficult times, inflationary times, wherein 65% of the raw materials the company only has to pay transportation cost, it actually there is no pressure on pricing for the company for raw materials.
Okay. And one more thing, sir. As currently we are a family-run business, so are we looking at hiring a professional teams in respective domains like sales, marketing?
So we already have professionals at each of our units. So at our Vapi unit, we have someone from the industry who has an experience in building materials of more than 30 years. And at our marketing facilities at Ahmedabad and Mumbai, we have a setup of, at Mumbai, we have about 15 people in marketing, whereas at Ahmedabad office, we have about 7 people at marketing. So also we have marketing people at MP, even at Rajasthan and Pune markets.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for your guidance and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir.
Bharti, there are no further questions, I think.
Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, that would be the last question for the day. Now I hand over the floor to Mr. Nitin Seth for closing comments.
Yeah, thank you, the participants for joining the call, and thank you, management for taking out time. And lastly, Manishji and Mohitji, if you can, give us some guidance on the volume growth, the margins growth to our investors, probably, would be helpful.
So for the current fiscal year ended March 22, we are looking at a volume growth of approximately 40 to 45%, with the EBITDA increase of approximately 2 to 4% anywhere. And plus, we are, as I already mentioned, that we are even looking at some other greenfield expansions, but that might take some time to realize and commercialize. But yeah, we should be coming up with those announcements as well in the due course of time.
Sure, that helps. Thank you, Navinji. If you can just give your closing comments on the call.
Thank you, everyone. It was really nice answering all your queries. I hope we did justice to all of them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your conference for today. Thank you for your participation and for using Doorsabha's conference call service. You may disconnect your lines now. Thank you and have a pleasant day.